What's up, gals? Welcome back to my channel. It's Whit here again with another video. So today we have a different setup. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my entire eyeshadow palette collection. I want to jump right in, but beforehand, I'm just letting you guys know I'm not even going to give a disclaimer. Listen, it's my money and I can do what I want with it, and I decide to spend my money on this. If anybody has a problem, oh well, really don't care. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right, and let me give you guys an overview. So this is the entire shelf. It goes all the way down there. So majority of my eyeshadows are housed here. I'm going to start here first, and then we'll move into an overhead shot to show you the rest of them. So over here we have this palette right here. This is the Tammy X Revolution. This is her second collab palette with them. Then I have, what is this one called? Okay, this is the Makeup Revolution. This is the blush palette right here. This is the Passion palette. This is their 24K Gold palette. And then right here I have my Melt Beetlejuice palettes, which I freaking love these. So this is this palette right here. Super gorgeous, pretty. I do have a tutorial using this palette, and I also have a tutorial using the Recently Deceased, which looks like this. Okay, now on to Pat McGrath. I do own every one of her large 10-pan Mothership palettes. So we're gonna start off with Mothership 1. And if you want to see like a full dedicated video like talking about Pat McGrath palettes, I do have a video where I rank them. So this is the Mothership 1. So pretty. Like, her special shades are so gorgeous. Then we have the Mothership 2, which looks like this. Wait, sorry. Is this Mothership? Yes. Sorry, yes, this is Mothership 2. I always get 2 and 3 confused. I do have a tutorial on my channel using this palette, by the way. The next we have the Mothership 3, which looks like this. These are so gorgeous. Like, oh my gosh, let me just hold. Oh, I love this palette. Like, this shade right here just gives me all the life that I need. Next, I have the Mothership 4, which this palette, okay, I don't know, no one said it, but it's kind of giving me vibes of that new Natasha Denona palette that's coming out, the Circo Loco. Like, it has similar shades, like some of these jewel tone shades. It's giving me similar vibes, but yeah, this is the one palette from the Mothership that does not have any of Pat's special shades. Next, we have my personal favorite, Mothership 5. This is by far the most versatile like palette that she has. That it's so gorgeous. Like, I absolutely love this palette. Just looking at it makes me happy. Next, we have the Mothership 6, which is also another favorite of mine. This palette, yet again, is super pretty. Like, I mean, what else can you say about Pat McGrath other than it's gorgeous? Have I even used this shade? It looks so untouched. I don't think I've ever swatched that. Oh my gosh. Or have I? No. Anyways, this is this palette. Love it. Like, this shade right here, pretty. This green, this ooh, just so much gorgeousness all in one. Next, we have the most boring looking one in my opinion. This is a Mothership 7, but this is also another palette that is very versatile. Like, you can use it every day. But for me personally, I think it's just a little boring. But I'm a collector, so I had to have, sorry, my laptop's open, but yeah. But yeah, as a collector, I just had to have them all. But yeah, this is probably the most boring one. And then we have the Mothership 8. And I cannot wait to see what Mothership 9 is going to look like. Oh, I can't wait for her to announce it. Hopefully it comes out this year. Hopefully she has something in the works. But anyways, on back to this one. Love this palette. And it's one that has a multi-chrome. You see how it's shifting? Oh my gosh, like, such a pretty palette. And then we have the Mothership Celestial Divinity. This was her holiday palette from 2020. And this is what it looks like. No special shades in here. 3 mattes. Gorgeous palette. And yeah, love it. All right, so that's it for Pat McGrath. On to She Glam, or Shein's makeup line. So this is the Artistry palette. This palette, I do have tutorial using it. It's my testing Shein makeup out. So I just hate the background because it always it messes up the lighting because it's the holographic. Or sorry, holographic. But yeah, that's this palette. It's all falling. Then we have the Glitz Wiz palette, which looks like this. Such a like, this outer packaging is so pretty. And then this is the inside. It's supposed to be a dupe for the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. And this palette I do have tutorial on my channel using. Next, we have, what is this? Oh, this is a Lunar Beauty Strawberry Dream palette. Like, I love this palette, like the color story. I just don't know why I have not really used it. As you guys can see, like, I have not even touched these. I know I've used that shade because it's so pretty, but yeah, I need to whip this out because it is such a gorgeous palette. Okay, next I have this palette right here. This is by Ditto Cosmetics. This is their Hera palette, and it looks like this. And swatches alone, I don't really like it. I feel like the shimmers are very lackluster. I have not actually used this on my eye, but the shimmers are very uninspiring. I feel like I was just pulled in to buy this because of the packaging. I mean, let's look at this. Isn't this packaging gorgeous? But sometimes packaging is not good enough. Then we have this one right here. This is by the brand Lorella. This is their Sweetheart palette. And this is the inside of this palette. Yet again, I bought this, have not actually used it yet. But, you know, I love me some pinks and whatnot. So I'm excited to use this. I think I swatched it and I feel like I wasn't wowed. I feel like the mattes were okay. Yet again, I think the shimmers were kind of like lackluster. But yeah. Next, I have this palette right here by Jolie. This is their Bomb.com palette. And this is an all glitter palette. I bought this years ago. I don't mind pressed glitters, but I feel like buying a pressed glitter palette, like you kind of know what you're going into. I think people have the issue where it's like, it's embedded into regular palettes. So it's just like, well, I don't want it. But I mean, I wanted a pressed glitter palette and I love this. Like the glitters are nice and everything. So yeah. Next, we have the Patricia Bright. This is her Rich in Color palette. I only have this one. I bought this on sale from Ulta. I bought it for like $12 after like a discount and whatnot. And I have not actually used this palette yet. Bought it, swatched it, and put it down and just haven't gotten around to using it. But it's pretty colors. And this color right here, oh my gosh, like I can't wait to use that pink. Sorry, my camera cut off. I didn't have any more space in my memory card. But yeah, this is the next palette right here. This is the Tammy Revolution, her Tropical Twilight palette. And this one I do have to tour on my channel using. Beautiful palette. Like, I mean, the mattes in here are phenomenal. It does have some pressed glitters in here. The shimmers aren't my personal favorite, like, but I think it's more so a Makeup Revolution thing. I don't think I'm too crazy about their shimmers, but their mattes are nice. All right, so this was my personal favorite palette of last year. This is the Be Perfect Carnival 3 palette. Just every time I open this palette, I just become so mesmerized. It's so gorgeous. This was by far, I think, the best palette that came out last year. I don't care what anybody had to say. I don't care. I don't care. It's the best. Then I have my oddly shaped palettes. These are the these are the Dee Dee Signatures palettes. So you guys know she's into the fruits, or she's like we call her the fruit themed palettes. But yeah. So this is the strawberry palette. This is her new and formulated one without the pressed glitters in here. I've not had a chance to actually use this, but I love their formula. So I feel like I'm going to love this anyway. And then this one right here, this is the Dee Dee Signature, the Apple palette. This one I have had the chance to use, and I do have the tour on my channel using it. Loved it. Loved the way the look came out. Beautiful palette. Then we have the Sample Beauty. This is the Painter's palette by Bet Painter. And yet again, another rainbow palette. As you guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, I went through like a rainbow kick last year where I was buying rainbow palettes after rainbow palettes. And now that I'm finally done, I don't know what the heck was wrong with me. But yeah, I do have the tour on my channel using this, by the way. All right, have all my Norvina palettes here. Let's go through these real quick. So this is the Norvina Volume 1. And this is what the inside looks like. This is probably, out of all 4 of them, my favorite one because it has my purples and a pink. Well, it has one hot pink. That pretty pink shimmer. I love this palette. It's so gorgeous. Then we have the Norvina Volume 2. And it looks like this. This is like your green blue palette with some yellow, a few pinks. It's just really random. And to be honest, I kind of like it. And a lot of people don't like how it's organized. It doesn't really bother me. I like it. Then we have the Norvina Volume 3 palette. And this is what this one looks like. This is very warm toned. It gives me fall vibes. If you take out the greens, it's a very, very fall themed palette, like very just warm. And then my Norvina Volume 4, which looks like this. Yet again, another favorite of mine because it has my pinks in there. The pressed glitters in here, like these two down here, so pretty. Yeah. I mean, there's not really much to say. I love this palette. By the way, I do have a tutorial on my channel using the Norvina Volume 4 and the Norvina Volume 1. All right, on to the Mitchell. So this is the Feet on the Ground palette. I was like, which one is this one? And this is what this palette looks like. Yet again, I do have a tutorial on my channel using this palette. If you want more details about this, I do have a tutorial using it. I love it. I feel like the color story is really pretty, and yeah. And then out of the two of them, this was my favorite, the Head in the Clouds palette. Now, this palette as well kind of gives me vibes of that new Natasha Denona palette. Like, look at it. Think about it. It definitely has similar colors in there because I'm really kind of like, I don't buy Natasha Denona palettes, but I kind of want that one. But I'm like, this looks like it. But anyways, this palette is pretty. I have a store on my channel using it. Gorgeous. Love it. I mean, like, look at the colors. And the pigment is amazing. Whew, y'all, my hand hurts with the way I have this video set up. I'm ready to be done. And I'm only on the first row. All right, last three palettes on the top are Glamlight. So this is the Ice Cream Dream palette. This one I do have to tutorial on my channel using. This is the inside of this palette. I mean, like, look at this. This is beautiful. Oh, it's so pretty. Then I have the Paint palette. This is what this one looks like. I mean, yet again, rainbow palette, beautiful. And the shimmers in here are nice, and their mattes are really, really nice. I like Glamlight's formula. I just feel like Glamlight struggles a little bit with finding color stories because everything they do is pretty much almost dang near rainbow. But yeah. And then this is the Cake palette. I keep it in its packaging because of the shape of it. You guys know Glamlight has like those oddly shaped palettes. So that's the reason why I keep it in here. This is the actual palette. This one I have not had the chance to use. I've just swatched it. Yet again, as you guys see, all three of those palettes are all very colorful. I'm pretty sure you could find similarities within shades within each of those palettes. So I feel like they need to just kind of like come up with different color stories because the rainbow palettes are kind of tired now. Like, I mean, I think everyone has enough rainbow palettes in their collection. Sorry, we're in a different angle. Had to take a break, move the camera around because I was just uncomfortable. Got me a bang because, listen, I'm already tired and I'm only on the, we only finished the first row. And I had to cut the air on because it was hot in here. Whew. Let us continue. Alrighty, all right here, we have ABH. So, got the Anastasia, the Jackie Aina palette. By far, probably one of the best palettes they ever put out. I don't care what nobody says. Next, we have the Prism palette. Is this a Prism palette? Hold on, wait a minute. Yes. Okay, this is the Prism palette. I bought this, and I feel like I never really used it. I think I did like one look with it, and I just kind of left it alone. But yeah, there's that palette. Then we have the Subculture palette. This one was given to me by my job, and I don't know if I have an updated formula, but because of all the bad reviews, till today, I'm afraid to use this palette because I'm just afraid that it's gonna do to me what it does to other people. But yeah, I literally have this and I don't think I've ever used it. I think I've just swatched it a couple of times and just kind of like left it alone, but I need to use this. Then we have the Alyssa Edwards. This yet again was given to me by my job. This palette is absolutely stunning. Like, it is so gorgeous. This pink, that pink right there, gorgeous. That blue, beautiful. Like, I mean, this is a truly stunning palette. I actually like the brushes that come in the ABH palettes. I don't use them, but I like them. This was the very first palette that I ever bought from Anastasia. As you guys can see, mine's all beat up. This is the Modern Renaissance. I just had to understand what the hype was because honestly, this palette looked boring to me when it first came out and it still looks boring to me now. Did I get some good looks out of it? Absolutely, I sure did. But it is a very boring looking palette and I don't understand why it was so hyped up at the time. Like, I mean, in 2021, this will not cut it. Then we have the Sultry palette. This yet again was given to me by my job. I actually won this in a contest at work. So yeah, that's this palette. I don't think I've ever used this either. Actually, no, I think I did one look with it. Yeah, I think I did one look with it and that was about it. Then we have the Riviera palette. Yet again, this was given to me by my job. And this is what this palette looks like. I actually like this palette. I know this palette, some people didn't like it. I like it. I think it's so pretty. Like, I mean, look at it. Especially that blue. Actually, you know what made me really, really like want this palette? And I was so glad that I got it from my job was when jaclyn did a look with it. I was like, oh my gosh. And I recreated that look like a couple times after watching her video because I was like, I love it so much. And then lastly, this is the Amrezy palette. I bought this. Actually, no, this was a gift to me for my birthday last year. And this is what this, oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. It's so beat up looking. I actually did use this a lot when I first got it. And I do have to tour on my channel using this. I did this like early on, like, I think during quarantine, like when quarantine first started, I did a look on my channel using this. I absolutely love it. This barb shade is so gorgeous. And like these mattes, like New Yorker, however you say that word. I use this so much. Like I absolutely love this palette. And then this shade right here, oh, bring back memories. I'm gonna whip this out. Next, I have these palettes right here by Rude Cosmetics. These two are both birthday gifts from friends of mine from this year. This is the Neons palette. And this is what this palette looks like. And then I have the Reckless palette here. And this is what this one looks like. Alrighty, on to Juvia's Place. So let me get you guys closer so y'all can see this. So from here to here, all Juvia's Place. I'm going to go through this so quickly because, listen, I have like videos of Juvia's Place all over my channel. And I did do a ranking my Juvia's Place palette. So if you want to see like really like in depth about these, like you guys can go check that out. But I'm going to go through this really quickly. So starting off here, I have both of their quads. This is the Melissa and the Fumi palette. This is what the Melissa one looks like. And I do have to tour on my channel using this one. And then this is the Fumi palette. I do have to tour on my channel using this as well too. Pretty much, okay, because I don't want to repeat myself. Any palette that came out last year with Juvia's Place, I did a video on. This is the Vanessa palette. Sorry, this is the outer work of it. And this is what this one looks like. I do have a Juvia's Place playlist. If you guys want to see anything Juvia's Place related to on my channel, I do have a playlist for them. This is outwork. This is the La Mariposa palette in collaboration with Yami Angelina. Oh, my back hurts. My back. Y'all better not skip no ads because listen, this is taking a lot of energy. Ugh. Whew, I'm tired. This is the Nubian Royal. This is their holiday palette. This is what this one looks like. And then this is the Nubian Glow. And this is what this one looks like. Okay, more of their 6-pan palettes. Let's just go through these rather quickly. The nudes. Rather boring. The taupes. Still boring. The chocolates. Interesting. The mauves. Love it. The violets. Just gorgeous. The berries. the Sweet Pinks. And this is what this one looks like. This pink shade, every time I open up this palette, you don't understand how much joy comes upon me. I love this shade. All right, let's knock all of these out right here. We have the Queen palette. This was the first collab palette with Fumi. And this is what this one looks like. I've hardly ever used this palette, to be quite honest. But you guys, I am a collector of Juvia's Place and I have to have them all. Like, this is a multi-using purpose. Multi-using what? This is a multi-purpose palette. So it's like blush, highlighter, eyeshadows. I mean, you can use it however you please. So I just need to remember to grab it. But when I'm doing like my highlighter and blush, this is all the way over here and my like desk is back that way. So I just don't think to grab this. Then where it all started, the Nubian. This palette is still so pretty, even after it's been so many years. Yes, it is quite boring to look at, but it's still a very pretty palette. Then we have the Nubian 3, the Coral. This is that one. Then we have the Saharan Blush Volume 2. This is the, why is this not in order? This is the Volume 2 palette. Really pretty. These you can use as like blush, highlight, however you want to. If you're lighter, you can use this as like a bronzing shade. But yeah, this is a pretty palette. And then we have the Blush Volume 1. This is for my deeper skin tone girls right here. Yeah, this is a pretty palette. And these deeper shades right here look so pretty as highlights on like deeper skin tone. Okay, then we have the Saharan. And this is what this palette looks like. And we have the Afrique. And this is what this palette looks like. Alrighty, moving on to Juvia's Place's their 9-pan palettes. Till today, I'm sorry, I have to just say this. This will always forever aggravate me. Juvia's Place, you really could not just make this the same size as the rest of them. Like, why did this one have to be smaller? Like, this just irritates me. Ugh. But anyways, this is the Nomad palette. This is what this one looks like. The Warrior. The Warrior 2. The Warrior 3. The Deuce. Or is it Douce? I want me a shot of Douce right now, I can tell you that. But your girl's trying to get snatched, so I can't really have alcohol. But anyways, this is this palette. Pretty. Zulu. The Zulu. This is what that one looks like. This is the Try palette. Which at this point, I don't know if Juvia's Place is discontinuing some of their palettes. I think that when Juvia's Place is out of something, they just take it off their website. But it makes us have like this sense of panic, like, oh my gosh, it's gone. It's just like, no, it's not gone. They just simply took it off their website, sorry. But anyway, so yeah, this is this palette. Then we have the Festival. And it looks like this. Such vibrant colors in here. And then my personal favorite from Juvia's Place, the Saharan 2 palette. This is probably one of their best color stories. I don't care what anyone has to say. I love it here. Like, I love it. And this shade right here, magnificent. And then these are their big palettes. This is the Nubian 2. This is my very first palette I ever bought from Juvia's Place. Actually, my very first purchase. And this is what the inside looks like. Then we have the Wahala palette from Juvia's Place. And this is what this one looks like. And this is the first time that they introduced us to pressed glitters within their brand. And I actually do like Juvia's Place's pressed glitter formula. Then we have one of my other favorites, the Wahala 2. Y'all, this palette, if you have not had the chance to get your hands on this and it comes in stock, or if it's in stock, I'm telling you, please buy it. Like, this palette is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I love it. Then we have the Magic, and this is what this palette looks like. Oh, it's kind of too big to be in the frame. Let me back up a little bit. Okay, here. Oh, y'all see my toes? Hey, I got my toes done. Anyways, okay, back to this. Sorry. Yeah, this is the Magic. And then we have the Masquerade. And it looks like this. Both of those palettes, or this one and the last one I just showed, I'm pretty sure they all come in minis, so you don't have to get this huge palette because, I mean, there's just no way you're going to finish any of this. I'm never going to finish this. All right, and that is that with Juvia's Place. I don't own any of their singles. I just own all of their palettes, and I know that they have a mini 6-pan palette of their Nubian, the original. I don't feel like I need that because, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the same shade. So, yeah, that is that with Juvia's Place. On to Plain and Makeup by Yolando. I have 5 of her palettes here. Let me put them down over here. So we have the Jamrock palette. This is her version of Pastel. That will show up. By the way, Plain Makeup by Yolando is a black-owned brand, okay? And she created this pastel palette in mind for deeper skin tone women. So, yeah. And in my swimsuit clothing haul, or my Shein swimsuit haul that I just posted last, I did have on some shadows from this palette. And I loved it. Like, I mean, I love her formula. Like, I mean, come on. I just got to swatch this for y'all. Look at this. Oh, what? Let me show up some of the shimmers. Ooh! Can you focus? Focus, man. Here we go. Look at this. Ooh. 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 Look at that. Okay, this is not a swatch video because I'm not trying to be here all day, so let me stop. Let me stop. Then we have the Serenity palette. This is a collaboration palette with Brit K Beauty. And I did do a video using this palette. Like, not really. I didn't really use a lot of shades from here, but I did use it on camera. So that's this palette. It does have pressed glitters in here, but it has a lot of mattes. And I love when palettes have a lot of mattes in here. Then we have the Beat Down palette by Beats by Debs. Oh my gosh. This girl is so talented. It's ridiculous. Like, she's so freaking talented. And this is her collab palette with Plain and Makeup by Yolando. And yet again, another talented artist. This is the Artistry Vault palette by Beauty by, in collaboration with Beauty by Melissa. By the way, all 3 of these collab palettes are out of, have been sold out. So sorry if you wanted these, but, and you didn't have a chance to get them, but yeah, I'm sorry. But this is this palette right here. Yet again, you guys, listen, let me stop and talk about her real quick. Okay. So I follow her on Instagram, and this girl is extremely talented. Like, if you live in New York, and you need your makeup done, book her. Like, she is one makeup artist that I have seen that is consistent. Like, every single client you have looks good. Like, you consistently do good eyebrows. You consistently do good eyeshadow. Like, I'm telling you guys, she is so talented. It's ridiculous. You guys got to book with her if you do live in New York, because I think she's based out of New York. But yeah, this is her palette. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. I love it. I love that it's like neutral and then colorful here. Beautiful. And it's primarily matte in this palette as well too. Then we have the Jamrock Universal palette. And it looks like this. This just gives me tropic vibes, like Caribbean vibes. Like, I just want to go to I want to go to an island. Like, that's what it's giving me. It's giving me carnival vibes. Like, whenever I look at this palette, I just get excited for summer. And it's almost there. We're almost to summer. I love summer. I hate the cold weather. So yeah, this palette just, it's almost a little, I want to say, is it nostalgic? I don't know. It reminds me of summer and I love it. And then we have the Jamrock No Limitations. Now, looking at this palette, like, online, this looked so boring to me. And I was just like, no. But it is actually a really, really beautifully curated palette. And the shimmers in here go crazy. Like, this shade right here called Becky. Becky go crazy. Like, it's such a pretty palette. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're done with the second row. Yay. Even though we have like so much more to go. Last row, let's get to it. So over here we have the Pinky Rose palette. Is this Pinky Rose? What brand is this? Yeah, sorry. This is the Pinky Rose palette, the center stage. And it looks like this. It's a pretty neutral palette. I mean, not much to say about it. Then we have 3 more melt palettes that I have here. They're not kept up there with the other melt palettes because of the shape of it. So this is the Millennial Pinks palette. I have not used this. My job actually gave this to me and I just haven't had a chance to use it. I really want to try out this gray shade right here. If you guys can see how I am laying right now to show you guys these palettes, this is ridiculous. Then we have the 420 palette, which looks like this. And I use this palette off camera, and I feel like the look I came up with, I don't know if it was my color picking, but it came out just, I feel like I picked different colors, but they all kind of just muddied into one. And then this shimmer right here, absolute trash. Like, Mel, you could have kept that. Okay, where was I? Sorry, I literally, my camera cut off because it got too hot, and then I got on Instagram and started obsessing over Megan and Party. Like, their relationship is so freaking cute. But anyways, back to this this little palette right here. Yeah, this eyeshadow right here, that gold shade is just raggedy as heck. Like, I mean, I don't even know why, but yeah, that's that palette. And then my personal, one of my favorites from Melt, the Gemini palette. This palette goes crazy, goes hard, goes dumb, goes like everything, okay? These shadows are crazy intense, and I love them. They blend like a dream. Love this palette. Okay, on to Miss Jaclyn Hill right here. So I have all of her Vault palettes. This is the, what is this one? This is the Armed and Gorgeous, or is it Armed and Dangerous? What is it called? So Armed and Gorgeous, this is that palette right here. Neutral with a pop of green. Then we have the Dark Magic palette, which looks like this. Then next I have the Bling Boss palette, which looks like this. And we have the Ring the Alarm palette, which is just like your neutral palette. Next, we have the Dominique Cosmetics, the Latte palette. As you guys can see, mine is definitely used and abused. I love this palette. When I got it, I used it a lot. So yeah, I love this palette. This is the Celestial Storm by Dominique Cosmetics. And this is what this palette looks like. I mean, I did put this in my palettes I regret buying. I didn't like the shimmers. The mattes are pretty nice. She does have a good matte formula, but her shimmers in this palette were just way too hard pressed. And I just found that I didn't really like this palette too much because of that. Then we have an OG right here. This is where Colored Rain, I feel like this is what really took them off. Like, I mean, their liquid lipsticks and everything was good, but like this palette, the Queen of Hearts, this is what took them off. And this was, I got this in the first round of, like, when it first came out. I love this palette. I mean, now in 2021, it does look a little boring, but I still love it. It's such a gorgeous palette. And this formula right here is what I liked about Colored Rain. Not their new stuff, but this one, good. And then I have the Cheers to Beauty palette. And this is what this one looks like. Then I have my Certified Affinity palettes. This is the Affinity palette right here. Looks like this. I hope you guys can see. I hope the lighting's on. Okay, let me sit up. This is the Affinity palette right here. I hope that you guys are able to see all of this, but yeah. That's this palette. And then I have the Affinity 2, which looks like this. User. And then moving on to some of my newer favorite palettes, because the formula on these are so phenomenal. Let's start with Clarity Cosmetics, the Berry Royal palette. Oh my gosh, I mean, okay, something is giving it a shadow. What is that? Or is it the palette itself? I think it's the palette itself that's giving it a shadow, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. All right, so this is the Berry Royal palette. I do have a tutorial on my channel using this. Like, I mean, y'all, Clarity Cosmetics and Give Me Glow Cosmetics have some of the best eyeshadows on the market. Like, they are so phenomenal, and they're both indie brands. Clarity Cosmetics in particular is a Black-owned brand. I love this palette. I used this the other day as well, too. So pretty. And then this is Gimme Glow's Christmas Morning palette. This is what this one looks like. Ooh, just look at this. Now, these shimmers right here, they literally lay down like a dream. They're so easy to put on. They glide on the eyes. They're easy to pick up. I love their formula. And you guys, I was able to get my hands on the vintage rose. They had like a random restock. And like, I was lucky enough and I got my hands on it. Like, oh my gosh, look at this palette. Like, look at this color story. Oh, so beautiful. And then I have the Vivid Rose palette. And this one I do have a tutorial on my channel using as well too. What's this? Oh, sorry. There's like a random brush here. And this palette, yet again, I mean, their formulas are consistent all throughout all the palettes. So no issues here. Mattes blend like a dream. Shimmers are probably my favorite when it comes to both of these brands. Like, they're just so pretty. So yeah. All right, moving on to BH Cosmetics. So I have the Cherry on Top palette, which looks like this. I don't think I've had a chance to use this. Have I even swatched it? Hold up. I haven't even swatched this palette, y'all. This is a shame. Then we have the Cotton Candy palette. We have the Bubblegum palette, which looks like this. I want to say I've used this. I'm pretty sure I have used this palette. Yes. I'm positive I used this. I think I used this dark blue and this blue. Yes, I don't remember what the look was that I did with this, but I know I've used this. Oh, by the way, I got a tour on my channel using this palette, by the way. And then the Pistachio palette, this one. I don't think I've actually had a chance to use this. I've just swatched it a couple of times. On to Miss Huda Beauty. I have the New Nude palette. This one was given to me by my job. I mean, I think everybody has duped this palette. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice palette. It's nice colors. I mean, it's a little boring, but I mean, yeah, I mean, not bad. This trash ass palette right here. This was the original, what is this palette called? Rose Gold. What is it even called? I can't even remember now. Yes, this is the original Rose Gold palette. The nonsense that this lady sold us, and then she went and made a better version of this palette. But yeah, this is the original one, and I'm not buying the new one. And then this is the Desert Dusk palette. This color story is really pretty. Love this palette. Okay, moving on to Alter Ego. This is a brand that I have grown to really like. I am on their PR list, so they have sent me some stuff. Some stuff I have bought. So this one right here I did buy myself. This is the Goddess palette, and they are known for duping Natasha Denona palette. So this is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Gold palette. This one I also bought myself as well too. This is the Sahara palette. This is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Biba palette. This is the Blooms palette. Yeah, so the rest of the palettes that I have here, they sent to me in PR. So this is the Blooms palette. This is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Love palette. I have a tutorial on my channel using this. This is the Canyon. This is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. Then we have the Aurora palette. And this is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. And then we have the Artemis, which is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. By the way, I do have a discount code with them if you want to save money. These palettes are already inexpensive as is. But if you want to save some more money, I do have a discount code. I believe it's just Whitney 10. It will get you 10% off. Next, we have Midas. This is the Flower Bomb palette. Every time I open this palette, I just get so excited. I love these type of colors. Like, they're so pretty. Like, oh my gosh. Then we have the Smoky Gold palette. I have not had a chance to actually use either one of these palettes, but they're pretty, and I have swatched them. Like, Hannah's palette is so pretty. Like, I just haven't had a chance to use it. Have another BH palette. This is the Trendy in Tokyo palette. Gorgeous rainbow palette. And I love the formula on this palette, actually. More Colored Rain. So I have the Safari Rain. This palette, unfortunately, has been discontinued, and the singles are also, I'm pretty sure, gone. But I think the, what's that girl called? Raw Beauty Christy. Her palette with ColourPop, if it's still in stock, it's a similar color story. So if you want this, I would check that palette out. But yeah, this one is no longer being sold. But yeah, this is such a pretty palette. And then this one too is also gone, and I love this palette. This is the Power palette. This is yet again, and I actually had no intentions of buying this palette, but Jackie Aina did a look on her channel and I was just like, I'm buying it now. And I'm so glad because I loved it when I got it. I used it so many different times. Like I love this color story. Like these shadows are beautiful. All right, September Rose. Black owned UK brand. This is the Slush 2 palette. And this is the original Slush palette. All right, more from Colored Rain. This is the Vivid Pigments palette. Rainbow palette right here. Like I told you guys, I was on a rainbow kick last year. And then we have the Juicy Boost palette. I got a tutorial on my channel using this, by the way. And this is what this palette looks like. Almost done. Beauty Bay. Love me some Beauty Bay. So this is the new romance. By the way, all 4 of these palettes I have a tutorial on my channel using, and I have a playlist for you guys. So this is the new romantic palette. Looks like this. So, sorry, like I'm trying to get a good angle of this. Like something is, let me back this up a little bit. Here we go. Yeah. This is what this one looks like. This one has apparently been discontinued. And I don't know why, because this is like the best one they have, but this is the Book of Magix palette. And then we have the Sunset Horizons. Is this, yeah, Sunset Horizons. This is what that one looks like. And then we have Miss Nikki Tutorials. This is her collab palette, and I forgot what the name of this palette was called, but this is what this one looks like. I like it. I know a lot of people kind of gave it a bad review. I don't know what they're talking about because I like it. So, yeah. What is this called, by the way? I don't know what the name. I don't know what the name of her palette is called. Oh well. All right, so we have this right here. This is the iMagic palette, and this one is clearly a dupe for the Jaclyn Hill X Morphe Volume 2 palette. I do have a tutorial on my channel using this palette. Then we actually have the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. So this is that one, as you guys can see. Clearly, they're like dupes of each other. So if you don't really like Jaclyn or Morphe, you can buy that one as an option. And then, oh my gosh, look how dirty this is. I'm so mad that like she updated the packaging for this one and I already have the original. But this is her original palette with Morphe. I actually like her second one better. I know a lot of people love this one, but I don't know why. I'm just not that crazy about this palette. But I mean, it's not bad, but like her second one is better in my opinion. Okay, guys, so that is this with these palettes here. I'm going to take a mini break and then we're going to move to an overhead shot and I'm going to show you guys the rest of my palettes. But this is pretty much done. Okay, I am back after my little break. So here we have the Violet Voss. This is the Holy Grail palette. And this is what this one looks like. To be honest, every time I see this palette, I just get pissed that I actually bought it. This is just not me. This is so lackluster and boring. The shimmers are pretty, but the mattes, just not my vibe. Like, I don't know why I bought this. All right, so this is the next palette here. This is the Holy Grail, not the Holy Grail. This is the hashtag palette. And this one is much better. I do like the color story. Wish this palette just had a little bit more depth in it, but it's still very pretty. Next, we have the Box of Crayons palettes. This is by The Crayon Case. And this is what this palette looks like. It is truly just your rainbow dream. Let me see if I can zoom out because, yeah, that's better. So yeah, this is what this palette looks like. Next, we have a huge Morphe palette. This is the 39A palette. And I remember when I first got this palette, I was, oh my gosh, I thought somebody got into my apartment. I was like, who the heck is here? Anyways, this is what this palette looks like. I love these shades right here. Like, as you guys can see, like there's like a little, I didn't almost hit pan, but like there's definitely a little donut going on in there. But yeah, that's this palette. And I keep the little insert because they have the names on them. Yet again, this palette is huge. I don't know why they just didn't put the names on it, but you know, whatever. And then we have Mr. James Charles, and this is his palette. And yeah, just rainbow, huge. Yet again, wish that they would have put the names of the shades. Oh, sorry, this is backwards. I wish they would have put the shade names on the actual palette instead of giving us an insert. Like, really? Alright, so, in here, pretty much all my glitters in here, but we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on these palettes here. So let me actually move them out. No! No, no, no. Okay, so these are my Makeup Forever. These are their trios. I used to make a bunch of little palettes with them, so I don't know the shade names. I would have to pop them out, but I'm just gonna show them to you guys. So there's this one right here. They no longer make them in the circular pen. They're only in the squares now. There's this one right here. There's this one. Ooh. There's this palette right here. This one. Love this red. I used to use this red all the time. I wish they didn't change up their formula, and I wish they would have kept like a lot of these shades instead of what they just gave us now. And then there's also this one. And I also have this one. I had to pull this out of like my big drawer. Okay, let me just move this over here. All right, I have this Sugar Pill palette. This is the, what is this one called? I don't remember what the name of these palettes are. They don't even sell these in these quads anymore. You have to buy them like, I think as singles or their big palette. What's this one called? Okay, so this is the Burning Heart palette right here. I bought this back in like, I want to say 2012. Yeah, I've had these palettes for a minute. And then this one is the, I don't know what this one, I think this one's called the Heartbreaker palette. Yeah, either way it goes, they don't sell these as quads anymore, but I know they sell them like as singles, I believe. Then I have these singles right here. These are in an Anastasia palette, but what shadows are these? I want to say these are, I want to say this is a MAC shadow, and then these are some singles from, I want to say not Carity? Yeah, Carity. I don't remember. I haven't used those in forever. Then I have this little palette right here. This is the Tarteist Pro Grow. This was given to me by my job. This too was given to me by my job. This is the Laura Mercier. This palette is called The Intense Clays. And this is what this one looks like. Oh, hold on. Let me take this film out. Never even used this palette, but that blue shade is so pretty. Like, I remember swatching it. All right, then I have these quads from NYX. These are some of the singles. And then I have this one right here. Never use these. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Okay, let's move on to some more Huda. So I think this was when I bought these and I was kind of done with buying the Huda, her 9-pan palettes, so I'm not collecting them all. But this is the Warm Browns. This is the Smoky Obsessions. This is the Mauve Obsessions. This is the Gemstone Obsessions. And then this is the Emerald Obsessions. Those are the only ones I have of hers that are like in these 9-pan palettes. And then I have some Smashbox palettes. These all were given to me by my job. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because I wouldn't buy this. So a lot of these smaller palettes, I wouldn't have bought them. So that's why I'm just kind of mentioning it. But yeah. So this is their Ablaze eyeshadow palette. This is the Golden Hour palette right here. Ugh, that's what this one looks like. And then this one right here is the matte eye palette. I don't think I've used any of these. I think I've swatched them and just kind of never got around to using them. All right, more palettes that my job gave me and I never got around to using. This is the Natasha Denona. This is one of her 5-pan palettes. This is number 8. And this is what this one looks like. I don't know why. You know what? I know why I haven't used this. It's because of where it's placed at. I can't visually see it. That's why I have that bookshelf of all my palettes. Because if I can't see a palette, I will forget about it. Because I want to use this shade. Like, this color is so pretty. Like, look at this. Like, I want to use this, but I forget about it. And then this one right here, this is the number 9 palette from Natasha. And this is what this one looks like. As you can see, I swatched them, just never actually applied them to my eyes. And then these are pretty recent that I got. I have not had a chance to get around to using these. This is the Mini Glam. Oh, these nails are not letting me be great. Okay, so this is what this one looks like. And then this is the Mini Love, which I really want to use this one because this is my color story right here. Like this, oof, love this. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to actually get around to using these, but I need to. And then this is the OG, y'all. I've had this palette since 2014. This is the Urban Decay Electric Palette. Oh my goodness. I wasn't even working for Sephora when I bought this. I bought this in the summer and then I ended up getting my job later on in the fall. But yeah, this is this palette. Ugh. Then I have this right here. This is the Take Me to Brazil. Yet again, I bought this in 2014. This is the OG. I don't even think they sell it in this format anymore. I know they still sell this palette, but I think it's like bigger now. So old. And then these palettes are even older. This is what I used to wear in high school, y'all. The Wet n Wild palettes. Oh my gosh, y'all. I think I bought like at least a good 8 of these palettes. I would hit pan and go and rebuy it. Like these were my go-to. Like this was my look right here. This one right here is called the Comfort Zone palette. And this one is the Blue Hat Me at Hello palette. And this is what this one looks like. Oh my gosh. What happened to this one? I'm pretty sure it broke. But yeah, these were my palettes, man. All right, more little palettes. This is yet again. Oh wait, these two my job gave me and I bought this. Okay, so this is the Tarte Flirt palette, and this is the Tarte Tease palette. Ask me if I ever use it. Nope. And then this is the Shayla X Maybelline. Bought it because, you know, I had to support my girl. I love Shayla. Like, I love her. And so this is her Maybelline collab palette. Okay. ColourPop. Let's move on to ColourPop. So this is the Kathleen ColourPop palette. The Street Dream. I love this color story. This palette is so pretty. This is the very first palette that ColourPop ever put out. This is, well, yeah, their first press eyeshadow palette. This is the, what is it called? Yes Please palette. And this is what this one looks like. Sorry, these are face palettes. I mean, I'll show them, but they're not eyeshadow palettes. They're just like highlighter palettes. This was the palette that was, when ColourPop was in Sephora for like a quick second. This is the Golden State of Mind eyeshadow palette. It's an all shimmer palette. Really pretty palette. This is the ColourPop Just My Luck palette. Ugh, come on, these nails. There we go. Here we go. All right, let me get you guys a little bit closer. Yeah. So this is theirs. This shade right here, so beautiful. I do have a tutorial on my palette. Not my palette. I do have a tutorial on my channel using this palette. Then we have my best friend's palette. This is Shayla X ColourPop, her Proceed with Caution palette. I do have a tutorial on my channel using this. Love it. And then we have the Smoke Show, which has been renamed to, I believe, Blowing Smoke. Love this palette. I use this black all the time. Really pretty smoky palette. Then we have the ColourPop Lovebird palette, which I feel like I've hardly gotten any use out of this. The pressed glitters look cute, but I don't really feel like I've used this much. Then we have Shayla's first collab with ColourPop. This is her Perception palette. As you guys can see, this palette is well loved. I don't remember when I broke the mirror, and I don't remember how I hit pan on this because I feel like I didn't use that shade all the time, but like apparently I did. But yeah, I love this palette, and when I first got it, I used it all the time. Then we have my most recent purchase from ColourPop. This is the Fade into Hue palette. I do have a channel up on my, what the heck, I'm so tired. I do have a tutorial up on my channel using this palette. All right, we're gonna look at some singles now. This palette, by the way, the Z palette or MD Magnetic palette is from Amazon. And this houses all of my Clionadh singles. They had a sale in December and I picked up 18 of their multi-chrome. So some of them are from the stained glass collection. Like, I mean, whatever looked pretty, I picked it up. This cost me a pretty penny. I would eventually love to fill this up one day. But for right now, I'm good with these. Like, I have to swatch some of these for you guys. Like, these shadows are so crazy. Like, if you ever had the chance to get these, because they're always like selling out, you should pick these up. I don't know how to like swatch this. Okay, let me do it here. Ooh, do y'all see? Oh my gosh, like, okay, I have to get a mirror so y'all can see the color shifting. I'm gonna put this here. All right, y'all, look in the mirror. Y'all see that? Do y'all see the shift of these shadows? Ugh. Freaking love Pleona. Moving on, these are my Give Me Glow singles. And this is what this one looks like. I was able to get my hands on the 3 new shades they came out with, like those really intense shadows. Let me swatch these for you. Let me show you why you need Give Me Glow in your life. Do y'all see my hand? Do you see how foiled my hand looks? Look at these. Ooh. Ooh. It literally looks like liquid glass. Like, I don't even, like, oh my gosh. They go crazy. Now, let me show you my Clarity singles. Y'all, Clarity, they go crazy too. But, okay, Clarity and Give Me Glow have some similar shades, because let me show y'all this. As you guys can see, these 2 shades, literally the same exact thing. And so are these 2. So this is Electric Unicorn from Give Me Glow, which is always selling out. If you cannot get your hands on this, I kid you not, the Clarity Cosmetics one is the same exact thing, same exact price. This one is called Carnival. Let me show you, because you guys are like, I don't believe you. Okay, I use this hand to swatch the Give Me Glow one. This is gonna be for Clarity. Okay, do y'all see this? Oh, I should have done it with both hands. Okay, actually, you know what? Let me do it with this hand. I'm gonna go into the Clarity one. Okay, so Give Me Glow, Clarity. Look at this. Give Me Glow, Clarity. Are those not the same exact shades? I was so mad when because I bought this one from Give Me Glow first, and I bought this one from Clarity next, and I was like, dang, I just bought the same thing for the same exact price, and I'm never gonna get through it. So yeah, if you want this shade from Give Me Glow and you cannot get your hand on it, the one from Clarity is the same exact thing, same exact formula. They feel the same, they look the same. Like, yes, look skin everywhere. Okay, next we have my singles from JD Glow. I do put them in this Anastasia 4-pan palette, and this is what these look like. These are their multi-chromes. Then we have my DD signatures. I have her quads. This is the coconut palette, and I have a full review on all of these palettes. This is the peach palette right here by DD Signature. This is the avocado palette. This is the blueberry palette. And this is the passion fruit palette. Then I have my Norvina mini palettes. This is the Norvina Mini Volume 1. The Norvina Mini Volume 2. And then we have the Norvina Mini Volume 3. Next, I have this palette from Tom Ford. This is the Leopard Sun palette. And it looks like this. This also was given to me by my job, because there's no way I would ever pay for a Tom Ford palette. This is by Lawless. This is the baby one. This also was given to me by my job. Haven't had a chance to use it yet. Then I have the Makeup by Mario. This is the Master Mattes palette. Yet again, given to me by my job. I really, really, really love this palette. Then I have my Artist Couture Supreme Nudes. Oh, absolutely adore this palette. Like, this is what I travel with. I love this so much. Then I have some palettes from Ruby May Cosmetics. This is the Spiced Latte palette. Such a pretty palette. And then I have the Peppermint Mocha palette, and this is what this one looks like. This just gives me really like Christmas palette, like Christmassy. And then I have the Oba Beauty. This is the I Am palette, and I do have a tutorial on my channel using this palette. Okay. Okay, then I have my, this is the Sephora Collection X Moschino, the little teddy bear palette that you guys always see in the background of my videos. This is what this one looks like. For as long as this shade was broken, then I finally used alcohol like a couple months ago and pressed it back in. And then I think you can pop it out or whatever, but yeah, that's this palette. I don't think I've ever really used it. I just more so have it for decoration. But yeah, that's this palette. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be like another 2, 3, 5 years before I do another palette video, because right now, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. Okay, let us continue. I have this palette right here by Urban Decay. This is the Ultimate Basics. I don't think this is still being sold. This was a palette that I actually got from my job. They actually gave me 2 and I gave one away to a friend. So I was just like, I mean, I'm not going to finish this one ever. And this is really boring. I mean, I used it. I had fun with it, but like, it's kind of a boring palette. This was the very first palette I ever received in PR. This is by the brand Folklore. This is their Endless Possibility palettes. And now looking at it years later, I can't believe I didn't notice it at the time when I reviewed it, but this is a dupe for the Jaclyn Hill the Jaclyn Hill X Morphe Volume 1 palette. Then I have the Carly Bible palettes. This is the first one she put out with BH Cosmetics. And then this was the deluxe version that she put out. Then this is OG, y'all. This is my Sephora collection singles when they used to sell them in this size. This is when I first started working at Sephora. Like was collecting those. That was when like singles were still very popular to collect. So I wasn't into buying palettes. I used to buy a lot of singles. You're about to see a bunch of my singles because I used to buy them nonstop. And this is more of their singles. None of these are being sold anymore, but oh my gosh, these are so old. Like this was like 2014. Okay, where do we go next? All right, I have this palette right here by Tarte. What is this called? Make Believe in Yourself. I don't think I've ever used this, but I think I bought it because it was on sale and it looked pretty, but like I just never got around to using it. We have the Kathleen Lights X Morphe. Y'all, it's back. Whew, this palette is old, nostalgic. So this is the palette that Kathleen Lights did with Morphe. And then here, you know what? I think these are my Carity singles. Then I don't know what those other shadows were. I think those were MAC. I don't know. The other singles that I showed you guys, I don't know. Anyways, these are some singles that I believe these are from Carity Cosmetics. They're kept in this Anastasia 8-pan palette. Then this is my Beauty Glaze Color Board palette. I have a tutorial on my channel using this. And this is what this one looks like. You get 60 shades for like $16. So yeah, if you guys want to check this out, I do have a tutorial using this and like kind of reviewing it. Okay, let me finish all these like little mini palettes first. What is this? Oh, we're not gonna show that. Okay. Next I have this palette from NYX Cosmetics. This is the Perfect Filter palette. Yet again, I think I bought this because a NYX store had opened up at the mall that I used to work at in San Antonio, and like I just felt the need to buy something. But yeah, this was a waste because I don't care for that. Then this is the NYX Fire palette. This is what this one looks like. Really pretty color story. I just haven't gotten around to really using it. And then my boo, it's my Ray Ray. This is her collab palette with BH Cosmetics. And I love this. Oh my gosh, look how dirty this is. But this is this palette right here. Okay, inclusive. Inclusive. And these shades are so pretty. Like, sorry, I don't want to blind you guys. These shades are so pretty. Oh. I feel like my hands are like all like dirty. All right. Okay. All right, I got this Bobbi Brown palette right here. This is their Couture Drama eyeshadow palette. I haven't really had a chance to use this. Got this from my job. Well, they gave it to me and I just haven't really had a chance to use it. I don't even think I've swatched it. But yeah, that's this palette. Then I have the Urban Decay Naked 3. This was also given to me in my job because there's no way I would actually spend my money on this palette. Like, look at it. When they made this palette, they didn't even know what a black person was. So, yeah, that's that palette. This is a Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. This also was given to me by my job. Love this palette, and it still smells so good. It's such a pretty palette. Then we have the Kat Von D Shade. These palettes are so dirty. I'm so sorry. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I really love the black in here. Too bad she's so controversial. Well, now she's no longer part of her brand, but like, this palette was really nice, and I love this black. This too was given to me by my job. Thank you, work, because I did not want to have to pay for those. Then we have the Kylie Cosmetics. This is the Royal something palette. I don't know what this one is called. I think it's called the Royal Peach. I don't know. But this is this palette. And there we go. And it looks like this. Alrighty, let's continue. I'm trying to save all my singles because we have a bunch of singles. Oh, there's this. Okay, there's this palette right here. Do y'all remember the Essay Edit? Like, they were in and out of Sephora like real quick. So this is the Essay Edit by Estee Lauder. And this is this palette right here. Sephora Pro palette. So this is the Sephora Pro Warm. I got quite good use out of this when I first bought it. Like, I was really in love with this palette. Then we have the Sephora Pro Editorial. Yet again, another palette that I really, really enjoyed. Very colorful. And then we have the Sephora Pro Cool. And that's what this one looks like. Okay, so I think we're done with all of like my palettes. Now I'm going to show you guys all of my singles. Which there is... Oh, wait, no. Hold on, wait. Let me show you these palettes. And then I think, yeah. Let me show you these two palettes from Morphe. So this is a Morphe 35S. Sorry, 35F. The Fall into Rust, whatever. I love this palette when I first got it. Like, I really did get I feel like I used it. It doesn't look like it, but I actually did. The only thing is that now looking back at it, it's so repetitive. Like, such a repetitive palette. Then this one right here is the 35R palette. I don't own the 35O, surprisingly. Just never got around to buying it. And yet again, this is another palette I really loved. Like, these shimmers were so pretty. Like, oh my gosh, like, I really enjoyed this palette. But now this formula just won't cut it with what I'm used to. Alrighty, so these are all my singles. So I'm gonna go through all of these for you guys. Starting off with Makeup Geek. So these are my Makeup Geek shadows or singles. These are their foiled shadows. Do you remember those? And then down here are just some regular shadows. So like this row and down are regular, but these right here with their foiled shadows. Oh my gosh. I remember Jaclyn Hill talked this up so much and I was just like, I need those shadows. But yeah, those are their foiled. And then this is a Morphe brushes. This is their empty magnetic palette. And this houses, these are actually Morphe singles. Yeah, these are their, remember when their singles used to be $2? I don't even think they sell their singles anymore. But yeah, these are the Morphe single shadows. And then what's in here? Okay, so these are Coastal Scent single shadows. These were super cheap. I think they're like $1 something. So I just bought a bunch of them, put them in this palette. And I really don't think I ever actually used these. I just swatched them over and over and over. Like I was like, oh, they're so pretty. But I don't think I actually ever got around to using them. This is old, like 2016, 2015. What is in here? Oh, sorry. This is a blush palette. This is a face palette. We're not gonna look at that. More Morphe singles. When they used to sell them still. This is my Colored Rain empty magnetic palette with their singles, which they are now discontinuing. They don't sell their singles anymore, unfortunately, but this formula, amazing. More Makeup Geek singles. I freaking love it. I think this was, wait, y'all see, I used to use my stuff before I started just buying excessively, but this was, I can't remember the names of them, but like I think it was like Cocoa Bear and something. But yeah, that's this. And then if you flip it to the other side, I have more singles by Makeup Geek. Oh my gosh. I used to be obsessed with them. Like I was like trying to be a collector of Makeup Geek singles and then they just kind of fell off. In here, I have more singles by Morphe. These are, so you know how I had the pinks, the warm tones, and then these are all like the cool tones, like the blue, the purples, the greens that couldn't fit into that palette. So just kind of got thrown in here. And then this right here, these are actually, what is that brand? This is BH Cosmetics. This was a palette of theirs that they had, and I took them all out of the palette and put them into a Z palette because I don't know what my reasoning was. Actually, you know what? I think I just had an empty magnetic palette and I wanted it to be filled, so I just took them all out and put them here. But yeah, these are, is it BH? Yes, this has to be BH Cosmetics. I think this was like their foiled eyeshadow palette. These aren't really foiled in my opinion, but yeah, that's this. Then these are my Anastasia singles. I bought this during the Black Friday sale that they had. These were like $2. Like y'all, during Black Friday, Anastasia's sales are pretty good. And I bought like a bunch of their singles. Oh, I hit pan. I didn't even realize I hit pan on that shadow. And then here I have my Morphe single shadows. These are the larger pan palettes. These were like in and out. Like they had these on their site for like a hot second and then they were gone. Is that it? I think that's it, y'all. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Finally we finished. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. 200 plus palettes, 3 hours later. I don't even know how long it took me to film this video, but I'm tired and I have to sit here and edit it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow your girl on Instagram if you're not already following me. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye.